श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे। पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतार। मोसम पतित प्रभु न पाइबे आरा। हा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी। कृपावलोकन करो আমি বড় দুঃখী। दया करो सीतापति अद्वैत गोसाई। तव कृपा बले पाए चैतन्य निताय। स्वरूप सनातन रूप रघुनाथ। भट जुग श्रीजीवहा प्रभु लोकनाथ। दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास। Ramachandra Sangha Mage Narottama Dasa. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad, Brahmans Purvadikacharya. Stotra Sasismadabhay Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan Prabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. संवेद भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद. जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद. जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद. जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद. Hare Krishna. So today we will be reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 24, verse number 329 and 330. तथापि एई सूत्रेरा सुन दिग दर्शना. सकारण लिखी आदौ गुरु आश्रयन. तथापि एई सूत्रेरा सुन दिग दर्शना. सकारण लिखी आदौ गुरु आश्रयण. Because you asked me, we'll read purport translation for the next verse, we'll repeat. Yeah. Because you asked me for a synopsis, please hear these few indications. In the beginning, describe how one must take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Now we'll repeat. Guru Lakshana, Sishya Lakshana, Dohara Parikshana. It's not there? Okay. Only one is written. Eh? Sorry. I could not see. So you can repeat that only. Yeah, because it's written. Yeah, please. Tathapi ai sutrera suna diga darasana. Sakarana likhi yadav guru ashrayana. Tathapi ai sutrera suna diga darasana. Sakarana likhi yadav guru ashrayana. Tathapi sutrera suna digadarasana Sakarana likhiyada guru asrayana. So, we'll read one more verse, but the translation is purport is very long. So maybe tomorrow also it can be continued. I may speak a little bit from the purport and that can continue tomorrow again. Because this verse have no purport. So that's why.
Next Sunday.
Huh?
Reading Chaitanya Charitamrita every Sunday.
Every Sunday, yeah. Next Sunday, yeah. Guru Lakshana, Sisya Lakshana, Dohara Parikshana, Sebya Bhagavan, Sarva Mantra Bicharana. Your book should describe the characteristics of the bona fide Guru and the bona fide disciple. Then, before accepting a spiritual master, one can be assured of the spiritual master's position. Similarly, the spiritual master can also be assured of the disciple's position. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, should be described as the perceivable object, and you should describe the Bij mantra for the worship of Krishna, as well as that for Rama or any other expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In the Padma Purana, the characteristics of the Guru, the bona fide spiritual master, have been described. Mahabhagavata Srestha Brahmana Vai Gurur Nirnam Sarvesam Eva Lokanam Asau Pujya Yatha Hari Mahakula Prasutopi Sarvayagyesu Dikshitaha Sahasra Sakhyadhyayi Cha Na Guru Syad Avaishnamaha. The Guru must be situated on the topmost platform of devotional service. There are 3 classes of devotees, and the Guru must be accepted from the topmost class. The first class devotee is the spiritual master for all kinds of people. It is said, Gurur Niram. The word Niranam means of all human beings. The Guru is not limited to a particular group. It is stated in the Upadesamrita of Rupa Goswami that a Guru is a Goswami, a controller of the senses and the mind. Such a Guru can accept disciples from all over the world. Prithivim Sasisyat. This is the test of the Guru. In India, there are many so-called Gurus, and they are limited to a certain district or province. They do not even travel about India, yet they declare themselves to be Jagat Guru, the Guru of the whole world. Such cheating Gurus should not be accepted. Anyone can see how the bona fide spiritual master accepts disciples from all over the world. The Guru is a qualified Brahmana. Therefore, he knows Brahman and Para-Brahman. He thus devotes his life for the service of Para-Brahman. The bona fide spiritual master who accepts disciples from all over the world is also worshipped all over the world because of his qualities. Lokanam asau pujyo jatha hari. The people of the world worship him just as they worship the Supreme personality of Godhead. All these honors are offered to him because he strictly follows the Brahminical principles and teaches these principles to his disciples. Such a person is called an acharya because he knows the principles of devotional service. He behaves in that way himself and he teaches his disciples to follow in his footsteps. Thus he is an acharya or Jagat Guru. Even though a person is born in a Brahminical family and is very expert in performing sacrifices, he cannot be accepted as Guru if he is not a strict Vaishnava. A Guru is a Brahmana by qualification and he can turn others into Brahmana according to the Shastric principles and Brahminical qualifications. Brahmanism is not a question of heredity. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 11th chapter, 35th verse, Sri Narad Muni tells Maharaj Yudhishthir what a Brahmana is. He states that if Brahminical qualifications are observed in Kshatriyas, Vaisyas or even Sudras, one should accept them as Brahmanas. In this regard, Srila Sridhar Swami has condemned Samadhibhir eva Brahmanadi Vyavaharo Mukhya Na Jati Matraditi Aha Jasyeti Yadi Anyatra Varnantare Api Drishet Tad Varnantaram Tenaiva Lakshana Nimittenaiva Varnena Vinirdiseta Natu Jati Nimitte Neti Artha. The meaning, the most important criteria for deciding whether to deal with someone as a Brahman or as a member of another Varna is the presence or absence of self-control and similar Brahminical qualities. We should not judge primarily according to superficial characteristics like birth. This is stated in the verse beginning Yasya. If the qualities of one Varna are seen in someone born in another, he should be designated according to the Varna of his qualities, not that of his birth. So we'll just leave it here and maybe continue next week, next Sunday. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanvitam Sa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrind. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So these two verses is being spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I think this is spoken to Srila Sanatana Goswami, if I am correct. Yeah. So Srila Sanatana Goswami is being instructed here by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that because you asked me for a synopsis, please hear these few indications in the beginning. Describe how one must take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. So this is very important instruction. Taking shelter of the spiritual master. That is the first anga of devotional service mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Adav Guru, Padasraya. That's where bhakti begins. Adav means begins. By taking shelter, Asraya, of Guru, spiritual master. If we don't take shelter of the spiritual master, then it's very difficult to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. It's just like in any other field, any department of life, knowledge, skills, art. Like if you want to become, you play the cricket on the street, normal cricket, then you don't need a coach. Anybody can take the bat and ball and go and play cricket. But if you want to become cricket star, you want to reach to the level of excellence in cricket, you need a coach. We have never seen an excellent cricketer who is very renowned all over the world for his performance, high performance, without a coach. Similarly, in the field of music also, you need a coach, a trainer. So in the materialistic field, and the material knowledge, the person is maybe called coach or whatever you say, mentor or... For spiritual knowledge, similarly, we need a guide, coach, if you want to excel in this field. You want to reach, that's why it says that Nirdeham Adhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham Plavam Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayanukulir Navastaveritam Puman Bhavabdhi Na Tarit Satmahat. Nirdeham, this human form of life, Nirideham, this body, human body. This is called Sulabham. Sulabham means, so it's very suitable to go back to Godhead. It's specifically designed with the purpose to take us back to Godhead. Sukalpam, the word is Sukalpam, means well designed, thoughtfully designed. This human body is thoughtfully designed. So, and it's Sulabham means very, there is every chance that one can go back to Godhead if he properly utilizes this human body. Unfortunately, the people today, when they don't know that they have to go back to Godhead. What to speak of utilizing the body for going back to Godhead. Majority of the population in the world have no idea what for this human body is. So therefore, the people then generally because they don't know the purpose, they waste their life aimlessly, just making some wonderful facilities for sense gratification. And for that, they spend so much time, so much energy. That's why it's very, very difficult to, even like 3 things are rare in the world to achieve as per the scriptures. The first rare thing is this very human form of life is not easy to attain. Durlabh manav janam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Durlabha manava janma labhiya sansare krishna na bhajinu dukha kahibo kahare. This Durlabh manav janam, to get this human life is very, very rare, not easy. That is the first rare. After passing through 8.4 million species of life, there we get chance to come to the human form of life. So that is so rare, so rare. And we are very fortunate that we have got it. We all are very fortunate. So that is the first thing, and we can be very, very happy for that. We can celebrate that we are selected. Sometime in the competition, if somebody gets selected, he becomes very happy. I am the one who is selected. So we have 800 crores of people, 8 billion people on the earth. They are selected for human life. And then second rare thing is, Jai Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan ki Jai, Sri Sri Gaurnitai ki Jai. And the second rare thing we achieve is that after getting human form life, we get a spiritual master, Guru Karanadharam. Not easy to get a spiritual master. Like if you see, like almost 9 million population of Switzerland, how many of them are fortunate to get spiritual master who can let them know the purpose of life? People have got the human form of life, but how many of them know what is the purpose of my life? That only will become to know only if we get the opportunity to meet spiritual master. Otherwise, just people waste their life. They have opportunity, but they miss the opportunity. And the third, some people, like at least devotees, we all have achieved that opportunity. We have got the opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness under the guidance of spiritual master. So we are the people who have attained second rare thing also. So we can say doubly happy, double happy. So now only one thing which is very rare is left for all of us. And that is third rare thing, that is Lord Chaitanya came for that. Atyanta durlabha prema karibare dana सिखाए शरणागति भक्तेरा प्राण श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु जीवे दया करी सपार्षद श्रिय धाम सहय अवतारी. Lord Chaitanya, with all along with his all associates, he appeared in Mayapur Dham. Sri Dham Mayapur ki jai. He appeared there, and why did he appear? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that he came to give Atyant Durlabh Prem. The third rare thing, that is Krishna Prem. Kari Baridan, to give that. Mm-hmm. But then when he came, he saw that nobody is qualified. Because you want to get Krishna Prem, you have to become qualified. Like, suppose I want to give you milk. Somebody can say, okay, you can give milk in my bead bag. Put milk in this. So if I pour milk in the bead bag, is it not the wastage of milk? Because it will get out, all will drain out. It will be wasted. So you need a proper pot which can hold the milk. Do you get the idea? Yeah. Then only one should pour the milk. So similarly, the love, Krishna Prema, it's something substance. You cannot pour everywhere and anywhere, but you need a proper pot that is called patra. Patra. In Sanskrit, pot is called patra. And also patra, one meaning is qualification. Patra, kupatra. She saw that people are not qualified because to hold the Krishna Prem, we need a vessel, a pot. That vessel is called Saranagati. If we don't have Saranagati, the consciousness of Saranagati means taking shelter of Krishna. Surrender also, it is called. So, if we don't have Saranagati, then we cannot receive Prema. So, therefore, Lord Chaitanya, he started a Saranagati university where he is going to teach us. First, you learn Saranagati, then you become qualified to receive love. And then what is Saranagati? It says, Danya Atma Nivedana Goptritve Varana Avasya Rakshive Krishna Vishwas Palana Bhaktiranukula Matra Karjara Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Varjanangikara. Then he says that 6 symptoms of surrender. The first is Dainya, that he called helplessness. Just like Gajendra was feeling helpless. When crocodile caught his feet, the elephant Gajendra, he was feeling so happy in the beginning. He thought everything is so wonderful in my life. And he was actually on a vacation, in the valley of Trikut mountain, hill station actually, that hill station of demigods. And he had gone there to maybe for vacation, all along with his wives and children. And he had taken wine also. He was drunken, and he entered into the, pool, or what do you say, sarovar or lake. People go to lake to take bath and water sports. And he was playing water sports and he was enjoying and very nicely, very happy. And he called all his wives also, please come all of you, and throwing water. And they're throwing water and playing sports like this. All friends also, there are many friends, relatives, they all were there. And it was kind of celebration actually. Wonderful celebration going on. And they were thinking also that why people say that this world is Dukhalayam. This is not Dukhalayam. So much bliss is there, so much ananda. Sometimes there is so much bliss, people don't realize that this is Dukhalayam. That is another problem actually. For spiritual realization, that's not very good. That's why Srila Prabhupada used to say that if we are in poverty situation, sometimes it's good. That's why Krishna purposely put his devotees sometimes in such situations. Out of his causeless mercy, he puts them in troublesome situation. When something is very comfortable, like heavenly, it's very difficult, So then, he was not understanding. And then the crocodile caught the feet of the Gajendra. Suddenly, the all celebration turned into, you can say, everybody was started crying and, in pain. He was crying in pain and started shouting, please help me, help me, help me. So now he fought with the crocodile for 1,000 years. Everybody tried to help, but nobody could help. Sometimes we think that modern scientific advancement can help us to solve all the problems of life. It's funny actually. It's funny. The greatest scientist of the world, who recently left his body, Stephen Hawking. You must be knowing about him. He was the one who knew almost everything about science. He had so much knowledge, but could that knowledge help him? No. He was paralyzed. The whole body was paralyzed, just sitting on the wheelchair, hanging somehow, With all his knowledge, he was not able to cure himself. With all his scientific knowledge, he is not able to bring himself out of the troubles and problems of the life. How he can bring us out of that problem? Common sense, common logic to understand. Very simple to understand. If you have some money, first you will make yourself happy. But if you have money, you are telling that you have money, and you yourself is not able to don't have food to eat, means what is that? Your money is fake. You are not able to use that money. It's illusory money. So this is illusory knowledge, because that knowledge is not able to help him. So how that knowledge will help me? With the knowledge which he is giving to me, how will that help me? And although I don't have that knowledge, but I'm all my bodily limbs are fit, I'm not a scientist. But by the grace of Krishna, although I don't have knowledge, but my body is fit. I'm not a great scientist, you all are not a great scientist, but your body is fit. So even from the material point of view, we can only be happy if Krishna allows us to be happy. It doesn't matter how great scientists we are. If God allows us to be happy, then we can be happy. But unfortunately, people don't have this nashtadrisam, kalau nashtadrisam. People have lost this vision, simple logic to understand. And that vision comes from the spiritual master. Only a spiritual master who has that vision can give us that vision. And how to identify such a spiritual master, and who is that spiritual master, how to become an ideal disciple. If you get a perfect spiritual master like Sukadeva Goswami, perfect disciple like Parikshit Maharaj, then very soon we can attain Krishna Prema. So this is the essence is that we should not waste our human form of life and utilize it, have a genuine spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, and surrender to him, and then go back to Godhead, develop Krishna Prema, go back to Godhead. So that's all. Maybe it can continue next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So any comment, any question? If you, yeah.
Thank you so much for the lecture. What qualities does the perfect spiritual master and the perfect student have?
Yeah. It's here in the purport Srila Prabhupada mentions that reference is there from Upadesamrita. It says that the first verse of Upadesamrita says, Vacha vegam, manasah krota vegam, jihva vegam, udarupastha vegam, etan vegan jo visehita dhira, sarvam api mam prithvim sasisyat. The spiritual master must have self-control, control over his mind and senses. And the 6 kinds of control. First is Vacho Vegam, the urge to speak. We speak anything, everything. The spiritual master only speaks about Krishna and things related to Krishna. No here and there. Then Manasa Vegam, his mind is controlled. Urge of mind. And Krodha, anger. Mind is controlled, anger is controlled. Then Jihva is controlled, tongue. Only takes Krishna Prasad. Nothing else. Without offering Krishna, I will not take anything. And then he will take only that much Prasad, which helps him to serve Krishna more. Not that he takes so much Prasad and then sleeps. Forgets the goal of life. And then Jiva Vegam, and then Udar and Upastha Vegam. Udar Vegam means belly. Urge of belly is to eat more and more. And third is Upastha Vegam, means the sex desire. So these 6 urges, this is the basic qualification of the spiritual master. And then further Lord Chaitanya says that Kiva Nyas, Vipra Kiva Nyasi Sudra Kenunai, Jai Krishna Tattva Vetna Sei Guru Hoy. That anybody who knows the truth about Krishna, he understands the philosophy of Krishna, he can become a spiritual master. Whether he is a Indian or American or Hindu or Muslim or Sudra. Sudra means the lower caste person. Nyasi, sannyasi, renounce order. Vipra, Brahman. Irrespective of his caste, creed, nationality, anyone can become a spiritual master. The condition is that he must be well versed in the science of Krishna consciousness. So these are the 2 things. There are many, many qualifications, but these are the basic. And for the students has to be obedient. He should not be. The first qualification of the student is that he should be genuinely interested in advancement, not just show of advancement. he should understand the basic thing is that this whole world, is dukhalayam asaswatam. And how I am suffering in this world. That is the basic qualification. I must get out. Sometime student comes, he chants Hare Krishna, but then says, the student must be very clear that there is no happiness in this world. He must be convinced. If you want to make genuine advancement, the happiness is just a trap, like a happiness trap. Just like mouse, a mouse trap. If you want to catch a mouse, first you have to do some research on mouse. What is the most favorite item of the mouse? Isn't it? And if you put that item in the trap, very easily he gets trapped. So our attractions are our weaknesses. Sometimes people say, teach me how I can manage my distractions. So I always say that don't try to manage your distractions, try to manage your attractions. Because something which can't attract you, that can't distract you. Something which attracts us, that only can distract us from our goal. So if we think something which is very attractive, which is the creation of the illusory energy of the Lord, it's very attractive, and that's what is going to distract us. There is no attraction. It's all just like illusory creation of the Lord. So the knowledge, through knowledge, we understand this. And then we just understand. There is some happiness. If we see some happiness, apart from Krishna consciousness, actually there is no happiness. It's just like traps. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Arke no maya jale Padite cho jiva mina Nahi jani bodha hoye Tumi chiradina. Says that this ati tuchha bhoga ase bandi hoy maya pase. For little pleasure, we are caught in the web of Maya, for little pleasure. And we remain bound for so many lifetimes. That much. Maya will not give too much pleasure. It will only this much. Like you want to catch a fish, you don't need to give full pizza. You don't need small bait, little bit. That is sufficient to catch and make him captive, and kill him. That much is sufficient. Don't have to give full plate of pizza. So ati tuchha bhoga ase bandi hoye maya pase. Rahile vikrit bhav danda yatha paradhin. So he says, so disciple must understand this basic thing, that there is no happiness. And therefore, what is the symptom of a person who understands this, that there is no happiness? Simple, he will not try to get happiness. Too much hard endeavor, too much prayas to get happiness. Hard working to get happiness. If somebody is working very hard, means he has hope that there is happiness. That's why nirasarth sukhe re. Asa paase ghure ghure ar kotha jai re. Hari bolo bhai re. Nirasarth sukhe. So he has no hope for happiness in this world. And he understands that. And therefore he can focus on Krishna consciousness. Vyasa atmika buddhi ekeha purnandana. Bahusa khayanantasya buddhaya vyasayina. So that is disciple, ideal disciple. He has understood with logic, with his own experience also, and with other experiences, other people sufficiently experienced, hearing from them, from his scriptures, from his own intelligence, using his evam buddhe param buddhva sanstabhyatmanatmanam jahi satru mahabaho kam rupam durasadam. With his own intelligence he has understood. Like one logic I gave you about Stephen Hawking. One logic. Using these logics, very easily we can understand. So he is convinced. Then he can very focused way he can practice Krishna consciousness. Of course, some pleasure will always be there in the material world, because even if we eat, there is some pleasure. But we understand that we are doing only for the maintaining the body and soul together, so that we can practice Krishna consciousness. So the spiritual master qualification and disciple qualification. Thank you.
Just following the question you answered about the happiness, but natural desire for the jiva, little jiva, is to be happy.
Yeah.
So how, while being in this world, not to get in this trap that we still hope for the happiness here,
Yeah.
but to achieve real happiness?
Very good point. Very good question actually this is. See, even though we know that there is no happiness, that is called knowledge. But just by knowledge, theoretical knowledge will not help us to just become, aloof from worldly attractions. That are there because of previous karmas. This is stored. Our karma has two effects. One effect is that the karma creates facility for enjoyment. If you have good karma, you'll have good facility for enjoyment. But that is not enough unless you have a desire also to enjoy. So karma, one part of karma is to create facility, another part of karma is to create the desire also, so that we can go and enjoy. So these both are there. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Swadhina nahi ekaya gopinath. Mama nivedana suno. That this whole, my body is also not in my control. Our mind is not in my control. It's like, it's it's being operated by material nature. Like, I cannot control my eyelids. Only Krishna can control. So therefore, the desires are natural because of our past karma. We have to manage that. So suddenly we cannot renounce and everything. It's not like that. It's a gradual. That's why it's a kramat. Sraddharatir bhaktir anukramisyati. It doesn't happen sudden. Today I heard the lecture that there is no happiness, and from tomorrow everything will stop. No. It takes time. That also we have to understand. Gradually. It should be, because artificially repression will create another kind of problem. So that's why in Vedic culture there are ashrams, various types of ashrams. Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, Vanprastha ashram, Sannyasa ashram. Gradually transition, it's a whole life plan. Not like 1 year project, 2 year project. Isn't it? It's a lifetime project. So accordingly, we should see, that's why Guru is required. Guru sees, okay, it's not that we are attached, but we are designed to become attached. Always remember. It's not that we are attracted, and from today I don't want to get attracted, I will not get attracted. It's not like that. So that spiritual master, expert spiritual master helps. He understands his disciple, okay, his attachment is like this much. So seeing his attachment, he decides his varna and ashramas, and accordingly they are engaged. So certain amount of enjoyment will be there, and at the same time parallelly they are engaged in Krishna consciousness. Parallelly. So gradually when we chant Hare Krishna and we practice Krishna consciousness, then we experience higher bliss, higher ananda. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text number 21, that Bahya sparseshu asaktatma bindati atmani yat sukham sabrahma yoga yuktatma sukham akshayam asnute. That when one becomes detached from the external engagement of the senses and goes inside, more inward, internalizing ourselves, getting pleasure in the self itself, soul. There is unlimited pleasure inside the soul. That pleasure, source of pleasure, like yesterday devotees were doing Sankirtan. So they were experiencing a lot of pleasure. I could see here, So that pleasure, when we discover that unlimited, Akshayam Sukham, So that pleasure, when we tap that pleasure, then we become very happy and then we don't depend on the external pleasure. But it should happen gradually, transition. But then why we discuss every day? Let us, once I know now why every day we have to be reminded. Sometimes it becomes very, difficult. Every day we are being, pinpointed. You have material desire, you have material desire, you have material desire. Sometimes ego, becomes hurt. That every time I am being told that you have material desires. No. It's not like pinpoint, it's like reminding so that we should not forget. Sometimes we are not reminded every day. Then what happens? That we have tendency to forget. The tendency to forget is there. So we may, lose this wonderful opportunity of human life which we have got. So every day we are reminded, but this should not be reminded like a hammering. Like a hammering, it's like very encouraging reminder. It should be encouraging, that no, keep trying, and let's not forget the goal. And not too much pressure, repressing too much. Otherwise, it revolts, senses revolts. So gradually, and ultimately we have to have full faith. If you follow spiritual master nicely, certainly we'll go back to Godhead. It doesn't matter which ashram you are in, Grihastha ashram. One can go back to God. There are many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam that people went back to Godhead being in the Grihastha ashram. You got that answer? Yeah. Thank you. So we'll stop here. Thank you so much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.